Hello everyone, and welcome back to a new episode of Dicey Dungeons. We're going to move on today to play as the Thief, and just still stick with episode 1. Now let's just get started here. Right, episode 1. Tonight on Dicey Dungeons, we join together to watch an inevitable failure. So the first few times you play with each character, they have like special lines and stuff, but I've already heard those, so you guys don't get to see them. Sorry. Anyway, let's move on. And so the Thief is kind of all about, at least on his episode 1, I'm not sure about later ones, it's kind of all about, oh I tried like a Thief episode 2 now that I think about it. I had a terrible time. Anyway, is all about getting like a large number of small dice. You start with this dagger and lockpick. You don't start with shovel. Rather, you get to... Every turn, you randomly choose one piece of equipment from the enemy, which you get to use as though you had it. So that's kind of useful, because without it, I couldn't use my 4 for much of anything. I could split it, I guess, which would be fine. But I can actually do better now that I have the shovel. You might say, well, wait a minute, this 4 was going to be like 4 total damage when you put it into the dagger. And then the 1 was going to be 1. You have to split it first, but who cares? The answer is I care, because if you split a 1, you get 2 1s. Because splitting always gives you 2 dice, and the lowest number you can get is a 1. So now we can turn that... Putting a 1 into a split actually increased our damage, whereas putting a 4 would just like allow us to put our damage into... our dice total all into dagger. But since I have shovel, I don't need to do that. And I can do 6 damage instead of 5. And this time it doesn't actually matter. I could split this die and we do 7 either way, right? So let's grab some equipment, and it's a pea shooter. A useful sink for dice you can't use. Nothing amazingly impressive, but fine. Okay, so we're getting to borrow his magic missile today, which is fine. We could instead have rolled to get his magic shield for this turn, whatever. What exactly do I want to do here? I think I want to lockpick the 5? Right? Is there any way I could possibly get lethal here? I don't think so. Because the most I could possibly get into dagger is 6, right? 2 3s. But if I do that, I don't have a magic missile. But what if I put a 2 into the dagger? Lockpicking the 6 into a 2 and a 4. 2 here is 2. 4 here is 7. 5 here is 2 more for 9. So if this turns into a 4 and a 2, I do kill him. I don't think there's any other way I could, right? If I turn this into a 2 and a 3, then... Well, I could do 5 plus 3 is 8. Yeah. What if I turn this into a 1 and a 4? Then I could do 1, 6, 8. So that wouldn't do it. But at least this is a 50-50 shot instead of a 1 out of 3. Because turning this into a 1 and a 5 is terrible. Turning it into a 3 and a 3 is lethal. Turning it into a 2 and a 4? Is that good enough? 2... yeah. So turning it into a 2 and a 4 is good enough, right. Turning it into 2 3s is not good enough. Right, so it's a 1 and 3. So I should try this with a 50-50. And we got there. Nice. The obvious plan was not the best plan, and we thought about it, found the best plan, and then it worked. These two are sort of equivalent to fight. Right, they both unlock the entire rest of the level. This is the same layout we had on floor 2 in the last game, actually, just with different monsters. There's a shop here, apples here, and I think treasure here. Maybe not. Maybe the treasure was in here somewhere. But I think it was here. Anyway, I don't have strong opinions about which ones I should fight first, so let's just pick one at random. Ooh. Split a dice into ones? Oh, I'm so glad I got to borrow your sneeze instead of any one of your other weapons. Which would have been hard for me to use. So give me 6 ones, I guess. Now what? Well, most of them obviously are going into the dagger, but the big question is what do I do with this 6? Do I split it into 2? I think so. If I get a 5 and a 1, that's like fine. It's an improvement over just putting it here. Right, I get to deal 3 damage instead of 2, and that's at least as good as doubling a 1. Right, it adds 1 damage. However, if I get lucky and get like a 4 and a 2, it still gives me more, like it gives me 2 more damage, and also advances the pea shooter. So I guess it's just giving me, I don't know, that might actually be worse. I guess it's the same amount of damage this turn as putting a 6 in here, but it advances the pea shooter by 4. However, of course, getting 2 3s out of it would be ideal. We got a 4 and 2, the worst outcome, I think. Yeah, I think a 5 and a 1 was better. And I'm sure a 3 and a 3 was better. Actually, hang on. Maybe this was fine because I can put the 4 and the 1 in here. So I could either do 3 damage this turn and advance the pea shooter by 4. Or I could do 4 damage this turn. I think that's actually, it's better to do 4 and leave the pea shooter where, like, at 5. Because, like, advancing the pea shooter is not really worth all that much. Alright, all that and we only got 10 damage in, but it sure felt like a lot. Split a dice into ones. Well, okay. Let's just do 7 damage. How can we keep stealing his sneeze? Like, that's very lucky, right? We could be stealing this stuff. Which would have been totally useless to us. Well, maybe not useless. We did have a lot of ones that turn. Even without the sneeze, I think. This is the first time we're limit breaking. You get to create 4 ones out of thin air. So that's kind of cool. Do I have some kind of lethal here? Yes. I don't need the unlucky roll. I split this 5. Well, that I'm not sure actually. I want to split the 5 though. If it's a 2 and a 3, it's lethal. If it's a 1 and a 4, then I only have 3 damage, 5 damage. Huh. Wait, what if I split the 2 in half? Is that crazy? If I split the 2 in half, I get 2 ones guaranteed. I can do this. That's 4 damage. Put this here for 2, and then put this here for 2 more. That's 8. So that's the lethal. Nice. I didn't think about that because it seemed natural to want to split the large numbers since we have all the stuff that wants small stuff. But actually the pea shooter is reusable. I'm perfectly happy to take a 6 and a 5. What's in the shop? These are all fine. Duplicating is not that useful for us right now. Because, like, we don't... we get a lot of dice that we can't do anything with. And, like, you dupe them and they only do 2 damage or something. And if you dupe, like, a 6, put it into pea shooter. Bandage, on the other hand, in principle, we kind of have a lot of small dice, right? So being able to heal is kind of cool, I guess. Hopefully. I don't know. Anyway, we'll grab one of these apples. Save the other one for our fight after leveling. I don't know. I probably could have saved them both. But I didn't want to die here against the Dryad. Anyway, we'll kick things off with an unlucky roll for sure. And then just split one of these for an extra die. And just throw absolutely everything into the dagger. I wish there were better keyboard support, by the way. Dragging these dice around blows. But I can understand it's kind of tricky because you want to, like, you have numbers assigned to the equipment, numbers assigned to this stuff. Maybe you'd have, like, letters assigned to the equipment, like QWEASD, numbers for the dice. So I could say, like, 3Q to put one of these 3s into the dagger or something. I'm not a UI designer. That feels sort of natural to me, but there's probably something smarter you could do. Throw everything into dagger again? Sure. Yikes. Glad I ate that apple now. On the other hand, you're dead, so I didn't need it. Just barely, right? Like, the apple's like 7 or 8 health, so we'd be at 2 or 3. Pretty uncomfortable, but anyway, we do have lethal, so I'll just take it. I like that. That's a good threat. The trees will just wait for you to die and then eat your corpse. That does sound like how trees would get back at you. Reduce the countdowns on all equipments. Well, I don't really use anything except pea shooter, which I'm not married to. However, poison needle is like a good use for lots of small dice, so kind of fits with the thief theme. Pickpocket. Steal a gold once per battle? Gold is just so rarely a limiting factor that I don't know why I would prioritize that. But at the moment, I can fit it, so like, why not? So many options. Anyway, I'm pretty sure we start with an unlucky roll. And we just throw all of our ones into this. Probably after splitting one of them. There's a bunch of poison. I guess we put a 5 in here. Might as well steal some gold, I guess. Ow. Could split the 5. Or we could just spend 5s in here. I'm thinking actually, like, let's split a 2 and bandage with it twice. In which case putting the 5s here seems pretty reasonable. Or maybe instead of bandaging with it, I should poison needle it twice? Because, like, that's a lot of damage. That almost guarantees the kill next turn. But I think I'd rather just have 2 more health. We might very well have the kill this turn anyway. Ow! Okay, so we can do 6 damage here, which is nice. And the enemy's only at 10, so we don't need much more. We can do 6 more here, right? So I'll take it. But actually, I'm going to take the unlucky roll anyway, just to get some odd dice to heal with. It's not amazing, but like that's 4 health, right? Yeah, so we put a 6 here. Heal, 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 heal. And I guess I can split one of these. I should have split the one, but I guess it doesn't matter. It's the same thing. Right, because this gives me 1 extra heal, which is all I would have gotten from splitting the 1. It's still good. Yeah, so, I don't know. My conservative play of taking one of the apples early cost us 3 health eventually, but also, like, made things a lot less scary, so I'm okay with that. I always have trouble locating the character on a floor transition. Like, the character looks enough like the bad guys that it's not so easy to tell where I am. Level up in 5, so I think we'll fight these 2. I guess. And start here since that's where the apples are. What does he say? Be loud? Right. So max 4 weaken enemies seems like a good thing to put here. I think I'll split the 6 and try to get something good out of it. 5 and 1. Okay. 5 here, and then some poison. Or some healing? I don't know, 2 poison is only 3 damage, right? Yeah, let's take the healing and 2 damage. I could have maybe pickpocketed, I don't know. I'll have time to do that later. Weakening him, by the way, is great. Because it turns one of his things from deal damage and weaken to just weaken. Split value in 2. So this like means it won't turn a 1 into 2 1s. Actually, it might just mean like if you put in a 6, you just get back a 3. I'm not sure. What's the plan here? I really want the Sonic Wave. I guess try splitting this 3 and see what happens. Yeah. It's kind of a bummer, huh? Okay. Pretty shitty turn. Wow, these evens are not appearing. Let's split the 5. Great. And then just dump this into poison and bandage. Wait, am I... So, I don't know why, but for some reason I thought this only accepted evens as well as being max 4. I totally could have used this on that earlier turn, and I just like thought I couldn't for some reason. Okay. Well, so let's... I guess because 4 is even, I was like, obviously. You only want to put 4s in there, and therefore you only want to put evens in. Alright, well, let's split this 5. 2 and a 3 is fine. I will go ahead and try to pickpocket him. I think we're doing just fine to make it to the next heal, so... And he's like dead instantly next turn. Hang on, let's heal first. Alright, one more fight to level up. Should be simple enough. Give me this upgrade, please. What are my choices? Deal 1 more damage is pretty cool for a thing you use a lot of times. Not on the other hand, we haven't been using it much recently. Doubling pea shooter damage is cool, but we try not to use pea shooter. Wow, that's a lot of gold. But again, I rarely care that much about gold. I don't have enough dice for this, except on the unlucky roll turns. I'll just take the dagger, I guess. It's like a solid option. I don't know which one to fight first. A free piece of equipment or my choice of 3? I guess since gold is no factor, I should take my choice of 3, right? Well, this is not very good. I'm never going to have any thorns, so... I think I split the 5. Great, so just dump everything into dagger except for this 4, which goes into pickpocket. Oh no, which goes into cactus spear, of course. So this guy is actually kind of a nightmare enemy for me because of all the thorns. I take a bunch of damage every time I attack, and I'm kind of used to attacking a lot. Kind of stinks. But I have a lot of things to do that don't require attacking him. So maybe that's alright. Yeah. Let's just, split this 4. And we'll pickpocket and heal a bunch. And poison him. And then heal some more. Yeah. I could have added a bunch of thorns, I guess, but I don't have any particular reason to believe he would attack me that much. Right, he can only attack for 1, so... Or 1 time, I mean. I think we just hammer him with this 6. Split the 4. Put in a little more poison and just keep healing. I could unlucky roll, but I'd rather just kill him since we level after that. Can I do that? I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Splitting the 5 is probably fine, right? Maybe I split the 4, which guarantees everything can go into the dagger. And that totals 6 damage, plus 5 from the pea shooter is lethal? Yeah. Or this, whatever. And in the shop, roll 2 1s. Huh. What exactly would I be using that like 6s, I guess. If I roll a 6, turning it into 2 1s is usually pretty good. I could replace Pea Shooter because I kind of still want the other stuff. Pickpocket is maybe not so great. But at any rate, I want it more than Pea Shooter. And like whether I want Pea Shooter more than Pickpocket is another question. These other things are not so impressive. I don't know, first aid kit? Like, could replace my bandages because it will require many fewer dice per health on average, right? Like 1 die per health, whereas this is like a value of 2 per health. So you could build up to this a lot more total heals. Why am I not hearing the music, by the way? I know there's shop music, but I'm not hearing it. Huh. I probably don't want to buy both of these. They kind of like fill the same role of like a dice sink. I confess that I like as a player kind of enjoy the healing style. Whether or not that's actually the stronger thing to do, I don't know. But I like healing. It makes me feel smart. Maybe I should just take both of them. I don't know. I have plenty of gold, right? That was the point of all this? Yes, give me both. I'll figure it out later. But I think I do want the first aid kit instead. Oops. The snake eye charm instead of pickpocket? Wait, no. It was, I kind of wanted it instead of pea shooter, right? Pickpocket is still kind of useful. There's several shops to come, and I might conceivably want to buy from them. I don't know, but I think I'll have enough gold. So get out of here, pickpocket. I don't know. Give me the first aid kit, so I can put the ones into bandage and the larger ones into first aid kit, I guess, and only kill enemies with these 2 things. Need some pretty small things, but like snake eye charm and lockpick help me get there. Kind of weird setup for now, but that's kind of how Thief goes, I think. You really want small dice. Do X damage once per battle. Well, that seems like a good thing. So maybe roll 2 1s and then do 5 damage. Split a 4. Yep. And go ahead and lucky whatever. Yep. That sure is a lot. And I think I do want to just give him all the poison. That is a lot of damage. Total I have right now is 12, so we're not getting a first aid kit right now. Maybe that's the problem with first aid kit, is that like battles will be over before I get up to 16. I don't know, but what, like, was I gonna use pea shooter instead? Not really. Kind of looks like split the 4, put everything in a dagger, and that's lethal. Yep. I'll put the evens in first, so that if there's any like leftover, I can put it into bandaging. Add 4 poison. Oh my goodness. That's too many dice things. I already have Poison Needle, which I'm like happier with. I could take it instead of like one of these things. God, 16 is so huge. Why did I ever take this? But it's not like I was gonna ever hit 12 either, right? So anyway, we'll just grab these apples and get going. Is there anything else here I could conceivably want? Nah, I don't want a staff. Too big. Okay, so that's a useful thing to spend a 4 on. Split the 5 and then do something. Okay, yeah, sure is something. 3 here and then a bunch of poison. How good was that poison, by the way? I applied 3 poison, which over the course of a few turns is going to do 6 damage. Maybe more if I continue applying poison. But I could have done like 3, I could have done like 8 damage if I'd put those dice into dagger. So it's really only good if I'm going to continue applying poison, which, like, I don't know, I guess I will, why not? Am I leveling after this? No. I don't know. Oh, I should have put one of these into Fireball, of course. I didn't even look at his equipment. Ow! Ugh, these dice, huh? So he's at 8 right now. Which means I can kill him with an unlucky roll. Just put 4 of these into dagger, doing 2 each. 2 more into bandage. Let's split first for more bandages. Yeah, still need 2 more fights to level. That's a little scary. Definitely grabbing an apple here. Well, I mean, let's see what's available, I guess. Another lockpick? That actually might be better than my first aid kit. Yeah. I just never have the dice to put into that. I mean, a catastrophe is... I just don't want to put all those dice in, you know? Lockpick's not great, but it, like, does something. Don't really want any of this. So we fight the snowman first to get access to the last apple, and then we fight the dire wolf. Yeah. Oh man, my voice didn't sound at all like his. So what's the deal now? We snowball him with 5, split the 1s twice. Seems good. And he's gonna be freezing us, which is totally fine with me. I don't mind rolling 1s. The 3s kind of have to go here. I could have put them here and done 4 damage instead of 8, but it doesn't seem that great. The 1s could go here, but I'm not really that impressed with Poison Needle so far. Like, I could do 3 poison, or I could do 6 damage. And, like, 6 damage seems pretty good, right? That's my opinion. Of course the poison will stack with more poison I do next turn, but like next turn it'll be about right to just use dagger instead, right? So I'm starting to think maybe to stop carrying around poison needle. It could be good if you upgrade it, because like putting 5 poison on is a lot. On the other hand, so is doing 10 damage. I guess we're rolling only ones, huh? Alright. You asked for it, buddy. Yeah, I'd rather just do the 10 damage than like apply some poison. And we're making him roll nice and low. Right, you'd hate for him to get 5s. I guess though against him, if he rolls a 6, the snowball turns it into a 1 and it becomes useful for him, which is kind of a bummer, but not the end of the world, I think. Do I need 4 more 1s? I mean, what is this? This is 10 damage? Gotta say. No, wait, this is 12 damage. Can't count. Still, not enough. I'd rather just have, like, this is lethal, plus I get to heal 3 times. Yeah, 3 times. Alright, not too bad, not too bad. We should be okay against the dire wolf. Do damage and add 1 poison. Well, that is strictly better than dagger. Right? Like, 1 poison is at least as good. Ah, direwolf is strong against poison, which I believe means that the amount of poison you inflict remains the same, but the amount of poison damage that it does is divided by 2 rounded up. So 1 poison is still as good as 1 damage, but it's not, like, really better. Well, split me a 5? Okay. Split 4? Okay. Now the only thing I could use this 5 for is not much, huh? I can combine it with a 1 to roll 2 1s, so I can turn this 5 into a 1, which is like strictly an improvement, although not a very big one. And now this 4 is just dead. So get out of here. And I mean, I guess we put the 3 in here. And here goes everything else. And I can confirm my understanding of poison this way. So you were at 29 with 1 poison. You took 1, that's 28. Okay. I'm cursed. And I'm a little bit poisoned. I don't really care. So you guys haven't seen cursing yet. Every time you use equipment, it has 50% chance to fail, and then the first equipment that fails removes the curse. Okay. Split my 5? No. Alright, that's fine. I just wanted to split the 1 anyway. Oops. Click. There we go. Maybe I should be cursing the enemy, actually. I don't know. I guess if the enemy's not going to attack me, why bother? Split this 5. Alright, who cares? I don't want 5s anyway. So I'm basically just using lockpick and dagger still. That's like my build. All this other stuff is just a distraction. Oh, this kind of hurts. But it doesn't matter, we're leveling up, so... Alright, we got him. Hacksaw. Split a dice in 3, but you can't, like, cheat and use it on ones. It has to actually be 3 lower values. That is a pretty cool thing to use on, like, 5s and 6s, right? Give you a number of smaller dice that you can dump into the dagger, especially 5s. Because, like, 6s you don't totally mind rolling 2 1s with them. Whereas, like, a 5 is just not that great. Skeleton key. So if you had like 2 2s, or 2 3s, let's say, perfect for dagger, you could turn all your dice into 3s, which would be really great. I don't necessarily have a way to get a bunch of 3s, though. But it's one way to make use of my, like, 2 large dice if I can't split them. Just, you know, get a couple 2s or a couple 1s or a couple 3s and turn everything into that and then throw it all into dagger. Seems kind of good. I wish I could, like, look at my equipment to help me decide, or, like, look at what upgrades are available or something. This game is a little bit too modal in decision making. I think Skeleton Key is better than our poison thing. Hacksaw is too, but I think Skeleton Key solves the same problem. Oh no, because it uses up the 2 1s that you put into it as well. You don't get those back. Right. So maybe I'll take the Hacksaw. Instead of my Poison Needle. What could I upgrade, right? I have Dagger Plus is already upgraded. Poison Needle I don't really want to upgrade. I have 2 lockpicks, which, like, who cares? What does it even do? Oh, right, on a 6 it splits into 3. That's right, I don't care about that either. I have Bandage, which would remove the odd requirement. And what's the last thing I have? Is it still Pea Shooter? I don't think so. It's something else. I don't remember. At any rate, the Hacksaw seems better than those choices. Alright, Snake Eye Charm. I'm not sure what upgrading this does. Maybe it rolls 3 1s? Maybe it becomes cheaper? I'm very green. Just feed everything into Dagger. This is a Dagger-only build. As such, Lockpick is totally still fine. Yep. On to the 5th floor. Well, it's nice to have access to all these apples so early, I guess. Wicker Man's weak to fire, but I don't have any fire that I could bring. Ooh, look at that. I get to just use your thing here. Not that that's that important, I guess. Split this. 1, 3, 2 is fine, I guess. Split. And I think split the 4 as well. Yeah. And just dump everything into Dagger. A lot of dagger damage. Ow! I'm on fire. I think... What do we hacksaw here? A 4, right? I guess, yeah, it doesn't really matter, does it? Then we split 1s with lockpick. This has got to be lethal, right? It's 12 damage plus this total, which is a lot more than 5. So let's just get him as low as possible. And then this just makes the math easier, right? Now now it's very clear how many bandages I can afford. Alright, not bad. Just 4 damage this fight. There's a slight question which of these two to fight first. Do we want to unlock the equipment or the apple? Excuse me, I had to sneeze there. Pretty sure I got it muted. Let me double check, is my mute key still set up correct? Yeah, it is. Great, I did then. Okay. Right. I'm sort of inclined, like, the safest play feels like unlocking the apple as quickly as possible. But I don't think we'll need all 3 apples to fight our third fight, right? So I can afford to get the equipment, then unlock the last apple, then fight the last monster, especially since it's a 4. So I'd like to see the equipment as soon as possible, please. Right, Jester changes equipment every turn, that's right. So this turn he has a bunch of hammers. Well, I love hammers. Gimme. I guess I should split dice into 3 first. You know, take the random action before the deterministic one to see what happens, but unsurprisingly it does not change any outcomes for me. I'm just splitting these ones and daggering in a bunch. No 6s, that's nice. And also the shock helped. Saved us 1 damage. I have no way to get a 6, so whip is not that impressive. I'll just hacksaw the 4. Lockpick my 1s. And sort of continue as I kept this 4. That's fine, I'll use it in whip. I somehow didn't think I had any other 4s. Is he dead? He is, that's nice. Oops. Gotta put the dice in the slot, though. Alright, now we're down 10 health, so we might as well grab one of these apples. Flip a dice upside down. Not really my thing. And I guess I'll head over here first. I don't think I'll need both apples to fight this guy, right? And maybe upgrading will help me fight the singer? No. No, it won't help as much as having access to another apple before I die will, right? Like, I'm gonna take some amount of damage X. Suppose I just fought both these guys without taking any apples or upgrades, right? Some amount of damage X. If I could take this upgrade and shop into the singer, I would take a little bit less damage. Not sure how much, but some, perhaps. Whereas if I just, kill the singer first, then I can take this apple into the Rhino Beetle fight, There's like 8 less damage, which seems like it's going to be better than what I would get from over here. So I really should unlock the apple first. Max 4, weaken the enemy. Well, let's split my 6 into 3 and try to get a 4. I guess a 3 is fine, it doesn't really matter. I'm never using this Snake Eye Charm anymore, by the way, so I should see about replacing this with something. I don't remember what I'm carrying that would be a good candidate, but there's probably something. Hey, we saved ourselves a weaken. Ooh. Ouch. Weakening my dagger. What a bummer. It's the only way I can do damage, you jerk. I could consider not using my lucky roll this turn, since the 4 dice do 1 damage each instead of 2. Next turn it would probably do 4 damage more. Seems reasonable. I guess there's no point. Well, yeah, splitting the 1 still adds 1 damage. It doesn't add 2 anymore, but what can you do? I could consider healing instead of attacking while these dice are less good than they usually are, I guess. Is there any reason I should do that? I don't know, I kind of want to get to her before she hits her high note, so let's just go in. No, that would be an improvement if she were using it this turn, but she's not. Not my dagger? Thank you. Hacksaw minus is the same as an ordinary hacksaw. Huh. Okay. Well, I'll split it. And I think now is a perfectly fine time to use Unlucky Roll. Oh, no, Bandage isn't reusable, so maybe it's not that impressive. I should put the 4, because that gives me access to 4 more damage. Then I can split a 1. Or not 4 more damage, 4 more dice total, which is actually 6 damage because of the dagger. So first we throw the 2s in here. Yeah, I have way more than enough for lethal, even without Unlucky Roll, and I can't get any more bandage even if I used it, so... I'll just have to use it in a different fight. In the meantime, grab both the apples. Yeah, I didn't need it anyway. It's kind of an interesting thing to use. Right? Like, is locking his dice all that great, though? Meh. Let's just dagger him real hard? Question mark? Actually, I have a lot of large dice that I'll have trouble using on anything but this. I'll see what I can do, though. So I guess the best thing is to throw my 2 4s into the Snake Eye Charm, because I don't think this Beetle Headbutt is even going to stay counted down if I put 8 into it. And even if it did, I might not get it next turn. So let's just have some 1s. Oh, I forgot to even look at what to replace that with. uses a lot of dagger attacks. That's kind of how Thief rolls, you know? I'm sure there are other Thief builds, but like a bunch of dagger attacks seems pretty good. And it was what I did when I won my first game as the Thief. Whew, a big dice again, huh? I'll split this. Sure. Split this. 4 and a 2? Yeah. And split this, I guess. I could put a 4 and a 2 in here to get 2 1s, which is a slight improvement over just throwing the 2 in here. Yeah, actually, especially... Oh, it doesn't matter. I don't need to heal, because I'm going to level after this anyway, right? So... It would have helped if, like, I could put, you know... I could put the ones I generated with my 4 and my 2 into bandage, but I don't actually have to. I can just kill it. Max level, we get 1 more dice, and access to the upgrade shop and all this. Okay, so we can upgrade these things. Oh, right, and I wanted to look at replacing my lucky Snake Eye Charm or whatever. With what? None of it is any good. Yeah, I don't know. Next equipment has +1 use this turn. What would I use that on? Nothing, really. Hacksaw? That's a better way to get rid of my 6s, I think, than the Snake Eye Charm. Do X damage, get a new dice with 1 less value. That doesn't seem that great. Yeah, the hookshot. I think to increase my uses of either hacksaw or lockpick. Like, I don't know. Using hookshot to give me more lockpick is not actually that great, because it just lets me it lets me spend a 2 to allow me to create a 1, which is like not good. But if I can use it on like a hacksaw, if I have, say, 2 6s, I'd rather turn my 6 into like a 3 2 and a 1 than turn it into 2 1s. But would I pay a 2 for the privilege? Right? Like, pay a 2, and then instead of 2 1s, you get a 1, a 2, and a 3? I mean, that's slightly better. But you might get unlucky and roll like 4 1 1, in which case you paid a 2 to turn... I don't know, then you could like split the 4, and maybe it's not so bad, I don't know. It seems reasonably close, but I think hookshot is probably better. And maybe if it upgrades, like, maybe if you upgrade it, it can be something better? I don't know. Upgrading hookshot, any even. Well, I don't really care about that. Ah, right. Requires a 3 to roll 2 1s. I mean, that's something. Currently, though, my 3s, I'm happy to just throw into the dagger, right? And 2 1s doesn't do any more damage in the dagger than a 3 does. So it would only be like, oh, if I have a 4 or a 5, I can snake eye it into 2 1s. But, like, I can already hacksaw it, and... I don't know. I think... none of these are that great to upgrade, honestly. You know what? Maybe I should upgrade the poison thing so that I have a secondary game plan if the enemy that... if the boss that we roll is one that like is somehow gonna have trouble with poison. I don't know. I don't want to upgrade anything. First aid kit? Not really. I mean, it seems like the three contenders are Poison Needle, Snake Eye Charm, and Hook Shot. I mean, being able to inflict 5 poison per turn is pretty serious business. Maybe even like more useful than my dagger against some kinds of bosses. So I'll take it, whatever. If it ends up not being useful, then that's because we were already prepared to handle the boss. Audrey. I've seen Audrey, but I don't remember anything. She looks very strong. That doesn't really tell me anything, though. I choose to believe that poison will be useful against Audrey. But I have dagger as like another way to spend my damage. What am I going to do with bandage? I don't know. Like, I won't put 1s in it because they'll go better into dagger. I won't have, like, 3s will go better into dagger. 5s I'll hacksaw. So, like, I don't see myself using bandage. What else could I even put in that would be interesting? Hookshot? I don't think so. I'd rather spend the 2 in something else. There's just nothing good. Roll 2 1s. Sure. Because I can put them into Poison Needle. If I get a 6 that I can't deal with well enough, just put it in here. Yep. Okay, let's fight. Alright, so what is your deal? You have Headbutt. You deal a large amount of damage, and you can weaken me a lot. Okay. Well, I think poisoning you a lot seems reasonable, right? One. No, we'll make some more 1s. I need to split the 5 actually. I can put the 4 here and a 6. And then put another 6 here. And the rest into dagger. Pretty reasonable looking turn, I think. I don't look forward to being weakened, but I'm flexible. 1 use, huh? Alright. Well, my dagger is still in good shape. So I'll split the 6? I mean, I like putting everything I can into dagger, right? right? And that's kind of my only concern right now. But Snake Eye Charm on the 6 is not any good. It turns my 6 damage into 4 damage. What about splitting a 4? It turns 4 damage into 6 damage, so that seems like good. Yeah. So I put the 6 here and everything else in the dagger. Oh, except maybe I should put a 1 into the poison needle? Yeah, I think 1 poison is gonna do more than 2 damage, since you already have 4. I'm never really sure on like how to do the math on poison. It's very confusing. It seems straightforward. You say, oh, okay, let's assume, okay, it's not going to, but let's assume this fight was gonna go for 5 more turns. Then you could say, all right, that 1 poison is doing 5 damage. But like, then let's say you could add another poison. You'd say, oh great, like that's doing 6 damage. I don't know. If you account poison like that, and the fight always goes on long enough for the poison to all apply, I guess that's accurate. It just doesn't feel quite right to me. Right, Hacksaw is still fine with a 6, although I could put my 6 here anyway. I would Hacksaw of a 5, which I can't do anything with otherwise. Split my 4s, I think? Both 4s? Yeah. So you can have this. Put a bunch of 1s in here. Oh, I'm a fool. I can't use 3s in here today. Well, that's a little embarrassing. Okay, and Audrey's dead now. Great. Let's spin the wheel. Unluckily, no dice. Haha. Okay, well, that was episode 1 of The Thief, Thief in the Night. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.